The Sixers should trade down and draft VJ Edgecombe or Derek Queen. They should. If you know that either one of those players will be available. Now, my number one guy is VJ. My number two is Derek Queen. Number three is Ace Bailey. I'm not sold on him. I think he has bust potential. I don't believe Derek Queen or VJ Edgecombe have as high of bust potential as Ace Bailey. I just don't. Time will tell, and we'll see if that is true. But I just don't believe that. And so I think the Sixers can be in a good position that they can trade down to like 5, 6, 4, get an extra first round pick, get some more assets. Hell, you can use some of those assets to get off the Paul George contract, which y'all stupidly signed. But I look at this and be like, this whole Ace Bailey hype, bro, y'all acting like he's some generational prospect, bro. Well, what are we doing? It's like, and a lot of times in Philly, we're like infatuated with like this one draft pick. And I fell victim to it. Whether it was Malachi Starks, and then we looked over a guy in Jahad Campbell. You feel me? So like a lot of times we gotta just take a step back and be like, all right, let's look at all the options available and what makes the most sense. I believe that VJ Edgecombe from day one will be better. Now, time will tell if he will have bigger upside, but also with VJ Edgecombe, if the biggest knock on him is his shot, if he develops a shot, you're talking about Anthony Edwards. That's what you're talking about. He literally has some of the most upside in this draft if he gets a shot, which very well could happen. The way that Anthony Edwards shoots now is not how he shot coming into the league. That's that work. That's that work. Put that work in. I believe VJ will put that work in. But in the Eastern Conference, when you have teams like the Knicks, who's going to guard Brunson? It's not going to be McCain or Maxey. It's not. You need a guy that's quick enough and also strong enough to deal with him. Same thing with guys like or Jaylen Brown. Or hell, like a Tyrese Halliburton. Hell, Tatum, when he gets back healthy. Like at 6'5" with his athleticism, VJ Edgecombe can guard 1 through 4, I believe. 1 through 4. I believe that. At the very least, 1 through 3. If they have like a 6'11" guy at power forward, all right, then you got me. But, and then with Derek Queen, I like that pick too. Because you can't keep harping on, well, if Embiid is healthy, bro, he's cooked, in my opinion. And you have to go out there and figure out, all right, like, what's the best way to move forward in the post-Embiid era? That's getting it big. It's getting it big. And when Derek Queen said, I'm from Baltimore after he shot that game winner, I said, oh, he's a freaking dog. And I would love to have him in Philly. So those are my two guys, bro. Those are my two guys. We're going to trade down. But I saw something that really pissed me off. I ain't going to lie. If the Sixers go out here and trade that 3rd overall pick in a package for Kevin Durant, I will crash out. I will, like, that's a justifiable reason for Philadelphians to riot. Like, what's Daryl Morey's obsession with aging superstars? He was just talking about how, oh, we got to get younger. So the solution is to get KD? No. We all know if Kevin Durant could not work in Brooklyn, if he could not work in Phoenix, why the hell you bring him to Philly? What the hell? What the hell? What the Halle Berry? Like, what are we talking about, bro? Ultimately, bro, The Sixers have to get younger. I don't want Kyle Lowry. I don't want Eric Gordon. I don't want Reggie Jackson, Andre Drummond. They're old. KD is old. He's a phenomenal player, but he's old, bro. No, no. KD was teammates with Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, had multiple championship head coaches. And each year, they did not reach expectations. And this year was by far the worst year that they had. Worst year. It makes no sense. So let's nip that in the bud. Quinn Grimes. I had this conversation with my homies about Quinn Grimes. I think y'all be overrating Quinn Grimes a little bit, bro. I think y'all do. I think he's a fine player. He's nice. But like, oh, all these 40-point games, averaging 22 points on the Sixers. The Sixers were a terrible team. And Grimes' usage rate was super high. Is he a good player? Yeah. He's a LeBron James of Deuce McBride's. He ain't no all-star, though. He ain't on that level. And when you have everybody available with Maxey, McCain, Embiid, PG, he's the fourth or fifth option. That's what it is. That's what it is. Now, I do believe that if Quinn Grimes is on your bench coming off, I do believe if Quinn Grimes is coming off your bench, you got a freaking championship team. I do believe that. And if he can help with McCain and running that second unit, I would love that because the Sixers need some depth, bro. They need some depth. But let's slow our ropes and talk about like all-star and all that. Like, come on. Come on, bro. There's a lot of guys that they put up some great numbers on teams that just they're not doing nothing. And so your usage rate is just crazy, crazy high. I want to get to my Eastern Conference and Western Conference predictions. Before I do that, I find it funny that the way the Knicks fans are covered compared to Philly sports fans, Eagles fans, it's really a shame because Knicks fans are just praised for having this aura. Oh my God, like they have all this passion for basketball, the Mecca and MSG, bruh. But then Philly does the same exact thing. We're trash, we're clowns, we're despicable human beings. And I'm not condoning any of it. I'm just showing how is it different? How is it different, bro? How is it different? But then New York fans get a pass, bro. What, because they're loud? What's the difference? New York fans, they say you heard, and in Philly, we say y'all mean. What's the difference, bro? It's just crazy. Y'all really hate Philly, bro. Y'all really hate Philly. And it's like, all right, all y'all hate us. We don't care. Who cares, bro? But part of this stuff does piss me off, bro. Because y'all take one Philly fan acting a damn fool and generalize us. And then with Knicks fans, you give them a pass. They can do whatever. They can do whatever. They can say F you, Reggie Miller. They can say F you, Trae Young. They can say F Boston. They can cheer for Embiid when he's hurt. They can go out here and harass Pacers fans. But let a Philly guy go out here and troll a Commanders fan and we're the worst fans in the world. I'm not buying that stuff, bro. I had to get that off before I talk about the Knicks and all that stuff, bro. But Knicks, Pacers, I've got the Pacers beating the Knicks. I do. And I think that this is where that fairy tale ending of the Knicks goes to bed. It's a fairy tale. Tyrese Halliburton is y'all daddy. And that pick and roll action with Siakam And Turner is going to put up Wilt numbers. Sorry, it will. And they're going to be able to stifle Jalen Brunson. They'll be able to limit Jalen Brunson. I'm trying to tell you. Andrew Nemhard and Naismith aren't going to lock him down completely. He might get some points because you know what Brunson do. He like to drive to the hoop and then like back up. How is that a foul? Like, what are you talking about? But he does it. I'm like, all right, fine, bro. So he'll get some points. But I firmly believe that Nemhard and Naismith are going to do an exceptional job on Jalen Brunson. I think the Pacers' depth is better than the Knicks' depth. I think the Knicks' overload of minutes is going to catch up to them. I firmly believe Miles Turner will have himself a series. I believe hella in TJ McConnell. I think TJ McConnell is one of the most underrated guys in the league. He's going to have a series. And at the level that Tyrese Halliburton is playing at right now, and they're playing with house money, I like the Pacers to win in 6 games. Now, the telltale will be, can the Pacers just not get obliterated on the boards? That's the thing. If the Pacers limit their turnovers, which they've done at a great rate this season, and don't get demolished in the rebounding game, they will win. Now, if they turn over the ball and they got Mitchell Robinson and Cat, all these guys getting all these boards, Josh Hart, I mean, with the Knicks, I'll give them, they have a 39% rate of getting offensive rebounds. That's historic, bro. That's historic. And so that's going to be the telltale, I think, who wins that rebounding. Well, I think the Knicks are going to win it, but it's a matter of like how much they win it by. And Mitchell Robinson for them is going to be an X factor. And also, Cat has to outplay Miles Turner. But again, I got the Pacers, and I believe that Rick Carlisle, a championship head coach who is having a sensational postseason run, is going to thoroughly outcoach Tom Thibodeau. That's what it is, and it's typical New York Knicks fashion for them to beat the Celtics and then lose to the Knicks as a favorite to go to the finals. That'd be hilarious to me. Timberwolves OKC. There is no excuse for the Oklahoma City Thunder to not win the championship. The whole knock on the Thunder was experience, lack of experience. Well, none of the teams left have experience. Not the Timberwolves, not the Pacers, and not the Knicks. None of these teams have gone to the finals currently constructed or have won a championship. So OKC, that has won 68 games this year, they have one of the best defenses we have seen. They are the deepest team in the league. And left, they are easily the deepest team. It's no excuse. Now, the question is going to be, is Jalen Williams going to consistently step up and or Chet Holmgren? We have seen when Jalen Williams steps up, the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to win. But they've also won with Jalen Williams not having good games, shooting tour dates. So ultimately, we look at this, and I'm looking at Oklahoma City Thunder to beat the Wolves in 6 games. Now, for the Wolves, the X factor for them is going to be Julius Randle. Julius Randle is the X factor for the Timberwolves. Want to know why? Because the reason why they're here is because of Julius Randle. He is having a sensational postseason run. His best one by far. Is not even close. All across the board, he has improved from the regular season to the postseason. In the regular season, he's averaging 18 points per game. He's up that by 5 points to 23. Efficiency, 3-point, free throws are all up across the board, and he's averaging 6 assists, bro. So we know what Ant's going to do. But that guy in Julius Randle, he's got to step up. And if he steps up and becomes that consistent guy for the Wolves, now you're talking about, they can have a real shot. And you know what Gobert is going to do defensively, and he's had a good postseason. And I gotta just give respect to Chris Finch and his coaching resume for the Timberwolves and how he's changed life. But Oklahoma City is the deepest team, and because they're so deep, all their guys can be fresh. They can be fresh, and ultimately, I think that's what will propel them to get to the finals. So it will be a finals of OKC and the Pacers. Again, after me saying all of this, I want to see Knicks versus the Wolves. So I'm predicting OKC versus the Pacers in the finals. But like, I would hope that the Wolves and Knicks face each other because Ant at MSG, that's showtime. I also live in New York, and the city is going to be jumping if they get to the finals. Oh my God, it's going to be the block part jumping. So that's something I'm definitely hoping for. But we will see, bro. Let me know down below your predictions. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. Share with a friend and share with a friend. It is Real Talk with MJ. We all know I always keep it real. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We out.